valuable because it was slab, but then you wouldn't be able to see the hand corrections that are in it. So that kind of defeated the purpose.
True.
So I'm still wondering what I might do with that. I was thinking I might auction that through Heritage Auction, and if I would have had it earlier and have known that the Kickstarter was going up, I could have gone in one of their last auctions. It might be in one of their weekly auctions as the Kickstarter is unfolding over the next 28 days. But that's kind of pushing COVID-19 limitations. Can you get this in your weekly auction next week? I can't get anything done next week. Don't you realize that I'm home teaching my kids geometry? Do you realize how much time that's taking? How are you doing with that, teaching Janice and Bullwinkle?
Bullwinkle's great. Bullwinkle's easy. I mean, I'm not working with her as much as I need to. But, it's one of these wake up in the morning, walk downstairs, see if they're awake. If they're not, sometimes I wake them up. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to quickly try to do anything else besides help them with homework. Janice, it's a lot of, she's a straight A student, top of her class, and yet apparently when I try to teach her anything, that doesn't make sense. That's not how we do it. It's like, and I just want to strangle her going, I'm telling you, this is how you figure it out. If you don't want to learn my way, okay, but, don't call me in to ask me a question when you're doing an online math test, and then when I try to explain how to figure it out, complain that's not how you learned it when I wasn't here learning it with you, because I already know.
Right.
The big one, she had a test on area versus perimeter, and last week she got it back and forth, back of her hand, knew exactly what she was doing, and this week it was, I added the sides together. I'm like, it's area, you have to multiply, but I'm not telling her exactly that. I'm trying to nudge her to figure this out. You're learning on your own, and she's just getting madder and madder at me, and I'm getting madder and madder at her. And finally, I'm like, okay. Well, the other one is it's an online math program, and you take, I think it's like four. You learn the lesson, then it's practice. It's a practice quiz. It's just like 4 or 5 questions, and if you don't get 100%, it doesn't. You can move on from there, but you don't get. It doesn't say 100% on the home screen for all the assignments. And so if she gets a question wrong, she goes back and redoes it, and the questions are different but the same skills, which would be fine, except that, you got 4 out of 5, that's passing, but she goes, no, I want 100%. Okay, fine, but now you're going back and the question's slightly different, so now you can't just say, oh, it's 24. I mean, she's been kind of a perfectionist on it, which I like because, hey, she's smart. But on the other hand, it's really annoying that, okay, you got that one done. Move on to the next lesson. No, I have to get 100.
Right. Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been reading parents who are columnists in the National Post, and you get a sense of what this is like. And what's interesting to me is the attitude on the part of their children is, you're not my teacher. They've got definite categories that they put people in, and it's like, no, you're dad. You're not my teacher. You're my mom. You're not my teacher, because my teacher wouldn't do things like this. And I think a lot of them are very eager to get back to school where that isn't confused. It's like, my teacher doesn't act like my dad or my mom. And my mom and my dad are no longer acting like my teacher. But something that those of us who aren't going through this and never had kids anyway are just going, wow, that sounds really, really unpleasant.
Well, she does Zoom. She does meetings over the internet where, it's got the camera so she can see the teacher can see her, and she can see her classmates, and they discuss what's going on. And she has a couple of them a week, and I'm really tempted to bust in on one and just ask the teacher, is she this whiny for you? Because I'm getting tired of it.
The teacher-parent meetings after this are going to be, I think, packed for exactly that reason. this is a different child from the child that I know. Does this sound familiar to you? Because I think my child is dissociating into student personality and child personality.
There was a tweet that somebody tweeted right after Stay at Home started, and it was, I have a bachelor's degree in whatever, I have a high IQ. I've been teaching my kids for two days. Teachers deserve $1 billion a year.
Which you don't want to say too loud because teachers are unionized.
Well, I mean, it's one of those. It was funny, but at the same time, like, exactly. It's a bit of the split personality of at school. You can't just sulk down in your chair and cry for 5 minutes without 12 other kids making fun of you at the playground. But at home, when it's just you and your sister and dad, yes, you can cry and whine and not act like a student and get away with it because, well, you're not at school.
Right.
And I've been working with. I mean, part of it is I got to be patient because I'm 40 years old. I've gotten to the point where if I know something and I try to explain it to you and you don't understand it, why not? I understand it. I'm stupid as a post. And then that's I had the same problem training people at work of, I explained it. Why don't you understand this? And I've come to the realization that it's not that I'm stupid as a post. It's that I think I'm stupid as a post when I'm really very smart. And so I understand things and I get this. Why can't you? Well, it's because you haven't gotten it yet.
Right.
And basically, there's a reason I'm not a teacher.
There you go.
I mean, Bullwinkle's, we've been reading ABC's, I mean, it's preschool at this point, so it's, shapes and colors, and she's way ahead on all that stuff. And a lot of it is just, repetition of, like, we read Dr. Seuss's ABCs every day for a week, and it's weird because she knows the alphabet song and she can sing the alphabet song, but when we're reading the alphabet and I'm pointing to the letter going, okay, big, what's this letter? She has to sing the song to get to H to figure out that it's an H. And it's not every letter, it's only like H, I think J, K, and then R, S, T, U, V. Those are the letters she doesn't recognize at sight. And I'm like, there's a T and an S in your name. How do you not recognize this? And there's an H in your name. How do you not recognize this? And she just looks at me like I'm a complete idiot.
Right.
And I it's one of those, okay, and it's the old computer thing of Moore's Law is processors get smaller, they expand in their intelligence, and it's the same thing with little kid brains. As they get older, they get smarter. And I just have to wait for her brain to kick on of, okay, that's the alphabet, now I know it.
Right.
Don't you wish you could go back and tell your young self, oh, no, have kids, it'll be fun?
Well, there's no replacement for it. It's a very, very rare person who decides after the fact, why did I have kids? It's like whatever else happens, it's definitely the children do become the center of focus. I think I'm missing one of the questions here, which was talking about the inking. Wait a second. We got Keith Callback's question. While you're asking, I'm curious if Dave is still using the heavy art board, the S172 illustration board. It was interesting to see how different it was from the more light cardboard type that is the usual. I have both. I haven't really been using them because I haven't been drawing. Even when I do draw, it's usually just sketchy stuff on photocopies. If I'm doing Strange Death of Alex Raymond mock-ups, with Carson Grubaugh, or if the most recent drawing was Dr. Silver Cerebus, Chief Medical Caesar, just showing David Birdsong how I pictured Silver Cerebus with a mask and gown and surgical cap on. So yes, I do have them all. I illustration paper because I'm already far enough away from the Alex Raymond style and the Al Williamson style, where those guys use that illustration paper. So anytime I would try drawing something, and I haven't really tried drawing anything since last summer. I prefer the drawing paper to the illustration board, but still like to have the illustration